Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to this live student Q&A session. My name is James Devani, and I'm a professor of international law here at the University of Glasgow. In today's session, we're going to have a Q&A with two current LLM students who will answer some questions about their experience of undertaking the LLM here at the University of Glasgow. I have some questions prepared in advance, and we're also happy to take questions from all of you in attendance. So please don't be afraid to use the chat and drop questions in during the session, and we can ask these questions of our current LLM students. I'm very lucky to be joined by our two students today, who in a second I am going to ask to introduce themselves. Maybe we could start with you, Ashi, since you've appeared on my screen first.
Hi, I'm Ashi. I'm doing the intellectual property and the digital economy LLM, and I'm from India.
Great, thank you.
Hi, I'm Chizoba, and I'm on the general LLM program, and I'm from Nigeria.
Okay, great. So staying with you then, Chizoba. So of all the universities in the world and of all the LLM programs in the world, could you maybe tell us a little bit about why you chose your program and why you chose the University of Glasgow?
Okay, so I chose my program because I wanted the flexibility to be able to choose my models and my courses. So that's why I chose the general LLM program. And it gave me the advantage of being able to select from here and select from there to just really, let's just say, create a bespoke program that worked for what I was interested in. And I think that's been a really great decision so far. And then why I chose the university, I think there are many reasons why I chose the university. So I'm really interested in artificial intelligence, intellectual property, and then knowing that the Center for the UK's Regulation of Creative Economy, the Create Center, is actually hosted in the University of Glasgow. It shows you the level of research and the quality of research that is actually delivered from the University of Glasgow. And I was really interested in that. And I think that it was really just a no-brainer, to be fair, because I wanted to come to the city of Glasgow, and a lot of factors together, the fact that the city is actually really welcoming, and the other factors I've mentioned earlier influenced my decision.
Great. Yeah, I mean, I think for anyone interested in intellectual property, the Create Centre in the School of Law is a huge draw, isn't it? And what you said as well about the general LLM giving you the chance to choose courses from all different areas of the law that we offer at Glasgow, I think really does offer a huge degree of flexibility. What about you, Ashi? Same questions to you, please.
I had a similar experience. I wanted to pursue intellectual property, so I had a short list of few universities, and University of Glasgow stood out to me because of their focus to research, and of course the Create Centre's leading research and papers were very interesting. And I also loved the optional courses that were offered. They were very relevant and contemporary modules, which included recent things. And one particular course, there's a course called Technology Maker Lab, which really stood out to me. And it was one of the deciding factors for me coming to Glasgow. And as Chizuba said, again, Glasgow is a very friendly, student friendly city. So it was a no brainer for me that I will be coming to Glasgow.
Great. Thank you so much. So we're at the end of semester 2 now of the academic year, if you can believe it, just before your exams. Good luck for those, by the way. If you were to look back on the year, staying with you, Ashi, and you were to pick out one highlight, what would you say has been your favorite thing about your year at Glasgow so far?
Wow, there's been so many things, but I guess my favorite part would be how relevant and contemporary the course content is. We're not just studying theory, but we actively engage with current legal issues, especially around AI, data, and emerging technologies. And I've really enjoyed the level of discussions we have in every seminar. And since it's a postgraduate course, the classes are very diverse. We have students coming straight from undergrad, and then there are students who have been practicing as lawyers in their jurisdictions for years. So you have quite a diversity there, and students from different legal systems. So it's really interesting to hear the different perspectives everyone brings to the conversation, and it just makes the course much more interactive and thought provoking.
Yeah, I think that's right. From my side as well, as a teacher, I'm always constantly surprised, in fact, by the diversity in the classroom, not just in terms of where everyone comes from in the world, but also their backgrounds. As you said, you have people coming straight from school, and you have people who have spent 20, 30 years in practice or working for a regulator. And I think having these people sitting next to each other in class creates quite a good environment. What about you, Chizoba?
Okay, so I don't want to sound as academic as Ashi has. And I just want to say that for me, it has been the fact that I think University of Glasgow has supported me, and I owe it to the university to say, like, all through the process, like as a student, I can actively say I feel supported in the university, and this is one of the best things. So, I I think that the fact that like the university is intentional about creating student jobs is really nice, and creating events, both academic research events and also like non-academic events. This really just, I would say it really helps to make your life as a student very, very wholesome. So you don't just have like a diverse set of classmates and rich academic materials, but then even from a social perspective, the fact that like we like there's a running joke I have with my friends, and I say that, "Oh, if the university has an opportunity to feed you, they will definitely feed you." Do you get? So the school is definitely like having is not having events, and then they're just finding a way to make your student life easier. That is definitely my best thing about the university.
Oh, I'm very glad to hear that's your experience. I know from my side in international law, we put on loads of events. Sometimes I think too many events that every time we're advertising them to the students, you can see them thinking, "Oh my God, another event." But it's for your benefit as well as ours, I would say, for sure. One of the things that we emphasize at the university as well, more and more these days, is experiential learning. And I wanted to ask you maybe if you have had any experience of this in the LLM so far, and if so, if you would mind sharing your experience about this, Ashi.
Yeah, so I've had quite a few opportunities of experiential learning. There's this course called Technology Regulation Maker Lab. It was honestly one of the highlights of my LLM journey. It's a very unique course. Uh, we actually had to design a prototype AI based service and analyze the legal and ethical implications of it. Our group worked on the idea of digital resurrection using AI and all the implication that it has. It was a really interesting and challenging course because it involved a lot of coding and website designing, and being a lawyer, I I did not have any prior experience with that, but the faculty was amazing. They were so hands-on, and I had a really fun time in that course. Other than that, I also worked on the IP policy challenge this year, where we were working with real world stakeholders from British Film Institute and other really important institutions in the UK, and helping them write policy solutions for intellectual property issues they were facing. So it really combined like the theoretical aspects with the real world implications, and I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think that's really good to hear as well, because in a way, the LLM is not just preparing you for a future in academia, if that's something that you want to pursue, but also for a future and the sense of looking towards building your employability skills as well. And I think those types of things are directly aimed towards that. Chizoba, do you have anything to add on this point?
I think the only thing I just want to add would be maybe referencing Technology Maker Lab. And for me, while it was really like insightful and creative, was just beyond the technical aspects, is that you get to think of what a business model would require you to do. So, which means that I see it as something I could add to my current skills, basically to say, you know what, if I've been able to like not just only envisage and envision an idea from start to finish, but then also ensuring that throughout the development of this technological program, that legal considerations are being had at every stage. So I think that this was that experiential learning experience for me was really, let's just say, was very, very worthwhile. And I see why Ashley would also reference it.
Oh, thank you. So, could you maybe tell us a bit about what your daily life as an LLM student looks like? So, how often are you in class? How often are you in the library? And do you have any sort of part-time work going on at the side as well? Are you involved in any other societies or other things at the university? Maybe, Shizuoka, let's start with you this time. Just give us an insight into what the day-to-day life of an LLM student looks like at the University of Glasgow.
Okay, so I think that as an LLM student in University of Glasgow, one of the things I really liked was that or maybe because like I am on general program, I was able to really select my courses in a way that the timetable truly favored me. I don't know if every other person would have the opportunity, but also that did not mean that I got to like deprive myself of courses that were important to me, but it just meant that I had a wider flexibility than maybe others would have had. So in the first semester, I actually just had classes and in twice a week. So I had two classes on one day and one class on the other day. I mean, that left me with a lot of time to actually study, involve myself in other social activities, and just really have a more wholesome life and also work in Glasgow. And but this semester my courses were more like 3 days a week. Still fair, still fair. I mean, so about my daily life, because I don't live so close to school. Whenever I have to go to school, I have to leave my house early. But beyond that transit period, more often than not, when I'm in school after classes, there are like loads of places around the school where you can read. I usually go to JMS and I just like to stay there to read. I think it gives me a good blend of having the quietness of a library and then a more flexible space for me to actually study. And that's one thing. Then about my part-time jobs and the kind of jobs I do, I think I have to spotlight the fact that during the course of my program, I applied for one of the roles as a telephone fundraiser within the university. And one of the things that was really nice about that was we got to speak to alumni and speaking to alumni to raise money for the university actually increased the love I had for the university, if possible, if there was a way to quantify it. Because I got to speak to alumni that had graduated like 40, 50 years ago. And in speaking to them, you still hear their passion. I mean, you don't, maybe you're informed ahead of time that okay you may receive a call or you know that okay during this period of time there is a campaign period that goes on from the university, and yet you're not bothered that it's an absolute stranger calling you. You're just excited to speak about your experience. You hear people telling you about how they enjoyed, oh, their favorite parts of the school was this, oh, does this still happen? And it gave me a really like human connection with the alumni. And also the fact that I got to raise money was really important for me because being a recipient of scholarship, I have to mention this. Like I know that raising and supporting the university in my own little way by raising funds and just really overall being as an ideal student in every sense of the word was very important to me. So I would say that that was the absolute highlight of my jobs. I do have a couple of other jobs in the university, and just to add this, the university is actually a very great employer, and we all have like a lot of my colleagues and I, student part-time workers, would always say and just reference how like, man, I think I've been too spoiled working with the university. Like you just know that when you work with the university, like you get paid well, you're like truly considered. It's not an exploitative system at all. And I really have to commend the university for that. And I know that for like incoming students, when you don't like shy away from taking advantage of these opportunities that would present themselves to you, just take advantage of it. You would be able to grow your skills, you would be able to like get to put yourself to other use. And also importantly, you get to meet students that are actually beyond your LLM program. And that is also really important too.
Great, thank you so much for sharing that. I've never heard about that side of the university before, so that was a really nice insight. What about you, Ashi? Is there anything you would add on this question?
Yeah, sure. I mean, my schedule is also pretty much the same as Chizuba. We end up working all the same part-time jobs this year. I also did the student caller. And other than that, I also work as a content creator with the School of Law, which has been really interesting because I get to document my day-to-day activities and give advice to prospective students. And it's really fun. I also am part of the Intellectual Property Society, which is a society run by all LLM students, and we hosted a PhD seminar this year for students who would be interested in pursuing a PhD. It was a lot of fun organizing that. And so I agree with Chizuba, the university provides you with a lot of great opportunities, and I would say it's really great to get as involved as you can.
Great, thanks so much. So those joining us today might be offer holders from the University of Glasgow or interested in joining, but they might also be offer holders for other universities, and they might be thinking about what other places they might like to study. And of course, one of the factors there, I guess, is the place itself in the city. For those who haven't visited Glasgow before, what would you tell them about your experience of Glasgow as a place to live and to study and to work, Ashi?
I think I really love Glasgow. It's been amazing. It's a really friendly city. There's a saying here, people makes Glasgow, and it's so true. You'll meet the most amazing people here. They're really helpful, and I think especially everybody is really nice to the students here. And the food is amazing. There's not a single cuisine you wouldn't find here. And there's always something happening, whether cultural events or just new food spots to try or exploring different neighborhoods. There's a lot you can do in Glasgow. There are beautiful parks and museums and galleries around which are free to access. It's also really well located with so many great places just like a few hours away, like the Highlands, St. Andrews, and Stirling. So a lot of great trips can be made from Glasgow.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned museums being free. I think that is definitely one of the best parts, that you can just take an hour or two in the afternoon and stop into Kelvin Grove Art Gallery and Museum, for example. But Chizoba, I'm going to ask you the same question and also encourage you to not just say positive things as well, right? Because I'm sure some people will associate Glasgow with being cold and rainy. So be honest with us as well about your
Okay.
experience.
So firstly, it's nice that like Ashley has actually toured a lot of Glasgow and actually Scotland. So it's good hearing that she has come out to give the amazing reviews of the cities and whatnot. And maybe where I would start from is the weather. So I have a very mixed feeling about the weather, and I would explain because like I come from Nigeria where we have degrees as high as 30 degrees. Like I mean, a good day is a good day, and like you really don't get to worry so much about the cold. But I was a Nigerian living in Nigeria that still hated cold, which means that by every standard, my brother says that Chizoba is the most cold prone person I know. So my fear when coming to the United Kingdom as a whole was the weather. But so I think I put my expectation so high up, like this weather is going to be the worst possible thing ever. So I was so like I just was like, oh my god, I cannot deal with this. But what then happens is that I come and either my body is just really good at adapting or was just deceiving itself that I didn't like cold in Nigeria because the weather is not that horrible. Now, don't quote me anywhere, but don't quote me anywhere, but I would say it's not that horrible. And the reason why I'm giving this context, like how I have been right from Nigeria, is because it's very important that maybe like I have a friend who is also Nigerian, and then she will tell you that the weather is good. Like on some days, it's like I get that it can be really wet, which is annoying. But if you really have a horrible expectation, like I did, when you come, it would be cold on some days. Some days is annoying, but trust me, it may not be as horrible as you expect. As in, I just say, thank God it's not Canada. Because I mean, so in that regard, I would say that the weather has been There are good days, there are bad days, but even the bad days are not totally unbearable. And that's from my own experience in the past one few months in
Okay,
Glasgow.
so
And I would also just
expectation
like to,
management, and it
exactly.
always could be worse. I suppose these are good things. Is there something else that you wanted to add about the city?
Okay, no, yeah, I just wanted to like just second what Ashley said about the city being friendly, and then you'd actually get a lot of people to help you. The bus system is very initially may seem a bit overwhelming, but once you get the hang of it, you would really be able to easily navigate the city with the buses and the trains and undergrounds. So yeah.
Great, thank you. So for those who are maybe set on coming to Glasgow, if you were to give them just one piece of advice about coming here, maybe about enrolling as a student, so advice on the academic side or advice on maybe work-life balance, what would your one piece of advice be to those who are thinking about joining us here in Glasgow, Ashi?
Um, I would say a year really goes by fast. So uh, be as open minded and try to get involved with a lot of different things. Try out for as much as you can, and I'd say come in with a really open mind and ready to engage. The more you participate in discussions and activities, the more you'll get out of the program, and you will have like great professors who are like leading experts in the field. So try to interact with them as much as possible, and yeah, and do manage your readings because they really catch up.
Giselle, you agree? Anything you would add?
Yeah, they do really catch up with you if you do not manage your readings because it can be a lot. But I think once you, the first few weeks may be a bit rough, but persevere. And the more you continue, you definitely would find it easier going forward, even understanding of the course readings. Then one thing I would just say is make friends and actually truly allow yourself enjoy the city, the university, and every opportunity that comes your way. And I do hope you have a great time.
I think that's very good advice from both of you. And I guess you now both have dissertations to do after exams as well. That's maybe worth pointing out that you have exams and then dissertations over the summertime. So whilst classes stop, you have a bit more freedom. You do still have this task. So good luck to both of you on that. Thank you very much for giving up your time to talk to us today. I would maybe just add that the recording of this session will be available if you want to watch anything back or share this with one of your friends. And if you want to find out more about studying law at Glasgow, you can visit our YouTube channel and view our program overview and law student videos. And if you want to connect with current students from the LLM, you can do so through UniBuddy. So thank you very much for joining us again today, to our speakers and to you, and hopefully see you in Glasgow in September.
Bye.